Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only Master Propaganda Hero, Psych Defender of the Fatherland, off here to 2v2 on Wolfheze. The north is Tonkatsu and BrainDamage, fighting here for the Allies. Fighting for the Allies. Here with the Americans and the British, taking on a combined Allied task force of the 7th Armour Division, backed up by the 2nd Infantry Division. We got here Recon support with raid tactics, INR Pathfinders, airdrop command groups, M8 Greyhounds, and the M83 cluster bombs. Tonkatsu with Vanguard, tactical support, and Royal Artillery in the south, though it's the Germans, it's Covenant, it's Farlion, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 1 and 16th Panzer Windhund with Mechanized, featuring command tanks, 250-1 Halftracks, vehicle critical repair, spotting scopes, the howitzer, Spearhead, Blitzkrieg, and Jaeger Armour. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters. Without them in the battle support, the Propagandacast would not be able to be doing what it does, so big thanks to all those. Other people enjoy thanks for Patreon, or they can donate via PayPal. And if you're in the market for pre-ordering currency, enjoy from the link in the comments, use the CoH2 for G. That's a great way to support me and get the game as well at the same time. And I'll let you know, comment, like, share, subscribe. So, Pathfinder more to start here from BrainDamage. Is an interesting opening here. Tonkatsu with the 2-section universal carrier, gun deemed for 2 for Farlion, and Covenant with a sniper gun at the opening here, looking to bleed out the Allies from afar. Well, further afar. I mean, you're already doing it kind of from afar with rifles, aren't you? More to there, though. Ready to support the Americans in their push towards Berlin. Second Pathfinder squad here for BrainDamage. University guns for the gun DC. Pathfinder spam, of course, being a fairly popular strategy here in the 2v2 metagame, though it's typically more with airborne rather than recon support. A recon support with this one is certainly a little less common, but not necessarily worse. Pannies reactions here, we've got the Pathfinder was there. Machine Gun is the advancing universal carrier there, hoping to hold up the advance here from Tonkatsu. East side here, bit of skirmishing between Covenant and Tonkatsu. They're snubbing up, ready to bleed out those Englishmen. Second Grenadier squad almost done there for Covenant. For Farlion, they got that out already. West side here, Grenadiers being about to get the reasons ground the Western munitions point away here from the German Reich. Mortar blasting away, they're hoping, of course, to silence here Farlion's MG42 team. So far, though, with a limited success, I imagine much to the relief of Farlion. East side here, though, the line has broken through here. The British forces are pushing through their Covenant's right flank. The lack of machine gun or sufficient infantry means Tonkatsu's infantry is able to bully their way there through his right flank. We got there another Pathfinder squad for BrainDamage. So that's triple Pathfinders and a mortar there. Moving about here. Back for BrainDamage. I imagine it's going to be Captain that could surprise with the Lieutenant. We got Tech there, though, for Tonkatsu, the Sampasat University. They're being upgraded with the Vickers K, a light machine gun. Can use pushing forward because the Pathfinders pushing them back. And in the east side here, section routed here as Covenant launches a counterattack here against Tonkatsu. For the Germans, we have Tech there for Covenant and for Farlion as well. Tech is underway. Third section there for Tonkatsu. It's for BrainDamage. We'll have to see if he goes for a fourth Pathfinder squad here, or what will he do? He managed to sort of the civic back and forth here. For Tonkatsu. Eastern field when they're briefly rendered neutral, but is now being reclaimed here by Covenant. And the 1 and 16th Panzer Division. Grenadiers with the Universal Carrier. Like to make a nice cover for Farlion. And he's flanking on the Universal Carrier in the west side here, a bit of skirmish here between Farlion and BrainDamage and all of his 3 Pathfinder squads here. We do get the captain there. And he's the taking hit from the American mortar team there. Pathfinder's good friend wipe out. He finds going to need to retreat them before they get murdered out. And he's seeing where they can here. Might want to, of course, starting up the light machine guns, so he's got other plans for those munitions. Grenadier squad wiped out. Pathfinder, of course, being quite potently large numbers, which is why they are popular, in particular in the 2v2 metagame, where they can easily be covered with an anti-aircraft half-track, particularly due to a lot of the maps, making it very much harder for a German player to punish this by outmaneuvering them. In the center, we got the Grenadiers being totally overwhelmed as Tonkatsu launches another offensive here for King and Country against Covenant here, who is forced to fall back a bit. Finally, there, but there's like to Mechanized company so far empty. Covenant there yet to build up. I imagine Farlion's going to first replace his Grenadiers before going for most likely a 2-2, but he could surprise us with a 251 half-track, or the 250. But he does go for the 251 half-track here, most likely a flame for a half-track, though I'm personally a proponent of mechanized infantry tactics. I find they can be quite effective, in particular as the Wehrmacht. They help negate some of your otherwise weaknesses with your infantry, so we'll have to see if Farlion actually commits that. Maybe, maybe not. You never know with Farlion. You never know. He is from Florida, after all. Grab the Eastern point here. Medic bunker up there. Like to make it up there for Covenant. Guessing a 2-2 from him. And then go Mittlere Schützenpanzerwagen out there for Farlion. First Panzergrenadier Company. Covenant going for the 2-2. Very much as expected. Imagine he'd gone for 2-1/2 Halftracks as well. Now that would have been spicy. Tactically spicy. Anyways, falling back in towards the Halftrack. Can also pop it in briefly to heal up there. The 2-1/5 Halftrack does provide a fair amount of utility there to the tactically savvy German player. Covenant there in the east, once more in trouble. The 2-2 is almost done. Finally there healing up his machine gun. Got a pretty decent healing speed on that one. Then he's moving forwards then, of course, can support them with the little machine gun on front there, and of course can always pop up the machine gunner as well to further provide assistance. There we go. East side here though, fighting is getting pretty intense between Covenant. Tonkatsu of course secured the rail station pretty aggressively. Got the AC Mach 3 moving forwards. Moving up here to further put pressure on Covenant. Fuel point of course remains out of control of the Germans, secured by the Allies at least for now, though not connected, which I suppose is a small blessing. And the west side here, finally moving forward to the Halftrack, providing some support there for his troops. Pack 40 there for Farlion, not a lot of infantry, definitely a bit risky here. I imagine Covenant will be going for the Pack 40 here to try and put an end to the AC Mach 3, because this 2-2 is going to have a very tough time of it. It doesn't really have a lot of other great ways of countering an AC Mach 3. I suppose you could try and go for Panzerschrecks, but even that's going to be a tough of a trick to pull off. Pack 40 is up for Farlion though, and he's got his back in the Halftrack here. Ready to form up some mechanized infantry tactics. Thumbs up to that. Armoured car that pushes straight for the Pioneers with Eastern fuel point, looking to deny the Germans that fuel for as long as possible. Good work there. After they quickly pop up the Grenadiers again. Machine gun, they're getting slightly bombarded here by BrainDamage's mortar. It's got the captain out. Got bazooka teams up, and interesting enough, not much of a follow-up here from BrainDamage as of yet, like no anti-aircraft half-track, no Panzerhauser, anything like that. Could be, of course, he's planning to rely on the commander here with its airdrop combat groups and the M8 Greyhound. Hard to say, but not impossible. Finally, there's some more Grenadiers. Go up the half-track, support the Grenadiers in the west a bit better, since again, all these Pathfinders, they will suffer some, shall we say, attrition, in which case having the half-track to ensure they don't bleed out too fast on the front line there is a pretty decent addition, and of course, it can support them with a machine gun. Not quite as good as was in Companies 1, we can actually provide light suppression, though you did technically need some units inside of it. But, you know, little fun fact there from Companies 1. Ambulance at the front line here. BrainDamage, of course, trying to replicate the German tactics, but with an ambulance. In this case, though, Farlion sees through his little trick there and pops it with a Pack 40 like it was a pimple. Mortify keeps raining down. They're going to use back in the half-track, falling back a bit here. Third squad ready. As for Covenant, he's all supporting Steam in the west here, looking to overwhelm here BrainDamage. Basil here looking to get some attention, perhaps. No, decides he doesn't want it. Pathfinders there being ripped apart here. The captain tried to boost it, but it didn't quite work out there for BrainDamage and the 2nd Infantry. Pathfinders, bolts and 6 moving up here. Grenadiers on the flank over the half-track there. Might be able to slow down. Grenadier squad almost wiped out here. East side, we got some light progress here from Covenant now that Tonkatsu is ultimately westwards here. They're all piling upon Farlion here. Armoured car there, going for the 2-2, but the Pack 40 there is ready. Greyhound from BrainDamage, so that was at least to a degree what he's planning there. Rather than the anti-aircraft traffic, it will be the Greyhound. Section there's pressed with M42 here. Captain pushing also a bit further forwards. In the centre, Grenadiers, Pioneers bringing in here. Samples on the way there for Tonkatsu. No command yet from him or from Covenant. Vessel really wants some attention, I think. Apparently can't quite decide if he really, really wants it. I don't know. Hard to say with Basil at times. He is a cat after all. And he's pushing up the centre there. BrainDamage, though, did get pushed back here. Pack 40's up in the Greyhound there. Blasting away with their centre family of cannons. That's looking a bit more smug now. MD42 on the way for Covenant. As for Farlion, we got more Grenadiers. He did lose a one squad here. And he did add the spotting squad as well to the half-track. So I can pull a bit more duties there. We got another machine gun here. A machine gun away for Covenant, really. Victory points whilst the Allies have not eaten the Germans here so far. Very nice lead. 468 versus 394. Not massive, but you know, nice.
Ready at your disposal. Halftracks now retrofitted with anti-tank mines.
And he's still up. We got Covenant with a Jaeger armor featuring breakthrough packages, Recon flight, mobile observation posts, spotting scopes, and the Elephant Heavy Tank Destroyer. I mean, he could also get away with going for a half trail, and honestly, probably won't, but he could. Isn't that right, Basil? Could do that. And the west side here, finally, though, is moving forward here with the 1st Panzer Grenadier Company. Back shoots. I don't know what it shoots at, but it definitely didn't hit it. And he's been hammered here with a mortar fire alongside the infantry 2. We got an ace-load mortar fire here from BrainDamage. 10 kills. Very good work with that one. East side here, another push by Tonkatsu and the British Army. Overwhelming here. Covenant's outer positions there. Fine with a 4th Grenadier Squad on the way here. No tech up for either German player yet. No support McCall being prepared there to serve Deutschland. Section is the armored car, the 222. The west side, though, fine, continue to make slow progress against the Americans. The mortar is definitely frustrating it. Alongside, of course, all of the Pathfinders. Fighting between Covenant and Chiefs continues in the east. Chiefs and Katabawa are the only player without a commander here. And the west side, though, fine. Pack 40 there gets pushed to fire hit. Almost, yeah, gets wiped here. Of course, he can rush up the half-track, quick recruit. And then have some other, and then reinforce both the pack and the Grenadiers doing the crewing. Nice little, of course, benefit of having the half-track close to the front line as well. In Company 3, though, half-tracks will actually have the ability to just directly put new crew members on a gun without you having to spend infantry on it. Little fun fact there, by the way. Nice, neat little addition. Pathfinders pushing forward into the machine gun, the Grenadiers. And of course the half-track, veterans 1 there, close 52, pack 4 and good hit the Greyhound. Machine gun got wiped. Pathfinders still in return. There we go, about to get wiped here by Fine. A pretty brutal attack here by BrainDamage, but clearly underestimated the power of the Mittlerer Schützenpanzerwagen. In the east they're coming and pushing forward here with Grenadiers, the armoured car. We do have tech there for him, none yet for Farlion. Obviously having to spend a lot more manpower reinforcing and crewing out the front line. More half-track up for Tonkatsu with 5 kills already. Still, finally in part thanks to the half-track was able to maintain the front line's integrity. And in fact it's now heading eastwards here, and again keeping the half-track nearby in support with the veteran 2 connect reinforce them slightly further away there. So it provides some very handy utility there. Isn't that right, Basil? Yeah, who's a good kitty? Who's a good kitty? You are, Basil. You're such a good kitty. Grabbing the eastern victory point away from the Germans. Section push up the center here for Tonkatsu.
The new company command post is ready.
Second pack 40 here for Covenant. In the east side here, the fuel points want to be under threat here, but the armored car might have extended here versus Covenant. And the 2nd Panzer Grenadier Company. Armour car's about to get knocked out. Pack 40 could attack round, knock it out. But there you go, does get it. And Tonkatsu is looking a lot weaker with just 2 sappers, 2 sections and the mortar emplacement, and nothing else here. So he's definitely suffered a bit here against Covenant and the German Reich. Find he just lose another... No, he didn't actually lose a Grenadier squad, just my imagination there. He did lose the Pioneers on the other hand. He is taking up here. Tech down there for Covenant. His 2nd pack 40 out. The way he's going for 2 packs could indicate he might be planning to still up for something bigger rather than just going for the Supremo Core. And the west side, though, BrainDamage rapidly advancing there through the western fields. More tap with 13 kills. It's really been a great investment here for BrainDamage. Or BrainDamage. Oh my! We actually get a half-track from Covenant as well. And certainly his commander does have some slight additional bonuses with the mobile observation post, getting both Regal, anti-tank mines, and of course the ability to like set up as a spotting post. So, well, this got a lot more exciting. From a tactical standpoint, perhaps. So, Scott on the way there for BrainDamage. Which is, you know, very much part and parcel of these kind of shows, say, Pathfinder builds in 2v2s. The only major difference so far is just the particular commander picked and the Greyhound. Otherwise, it very much, you know, appears basic like everything else. Lots of Pathfinders, Captain, you know, and going for the Scott here. Greyhound rushing down the center here. Half-track a bit of trouble here. Pack 40 with the Greyhound. Good shot there. Farlion there, I believe, is all to take up now. Half-track out there for Covenant. Die Mittlerer Schützenpanzerwagen. Oh, it is in the east supporting here. Covenant's front line there. Thumbs up. Greyhound there. Firing a counter shot to the Pack 40, wiping it out here. Half-track near the ace level has to get out of there. And of course, you need to get some troops on that Pack 40 as soon as possible. Plus, of course, more Pioneers. And there you go. More Pioneers in life for Farlion. Thumbs up. East side here, though, Covenant remains fairly entrenched. Knocking out the mortar emplacement. Chiefs and Catcher remains in a tight spot. Rushing out the centre here in a bit to overcome the Germans. So there we go again. Immediately reinforcing the Pack 4. Oh, grabbing the Pack 40 could, of course, reinforce. But in this case, I suspect he finally feels like the front line is just too exposed here to, like, really try and do that at the moment. Reinforce at the front line. Suppose I can't fault him for that. Covenant here could consider some regal mines. That could really completely derail an allied armoured assault here. If, like, see the rush in the centre and then immediately gets, like, you know, it's straight blown off. So Palmer Core going up there for Covenant. Finally reinforcing. Healing, repairs. Obviously goes for the Supremo Core. What it does there goes centre though for diving up the eastern flank here against Covenant and the 2nd Panzergrenadier Company. Section number 3 on the way there for Chiefs and Catchers. Finally gone for Vanguard with 4 logistics gliders, raid operation, vehicle crew repairs, Crocodile, and the strafing support. And I imagine it's for strafing support. He primarily went for this commander at this stage because that is a very powerful loiter ability. Probably the best one in the game at the moment. So, not too surprising went for it, and is very popular with a variety of Brit players. West side here going to be engaged with the Greyhound here, close to 82 on that little armoured car. Scott, of course, also running a BrainDamage with further artillery here, which only could force Farlion to get a bit more aggressive versus BrainDamage. And the Americans, easily artillery firing down the building here, collapsing it. Chiefs Cutter leaves no place for the Germans to hide, if he can help it. After the remaining bit more defense position. More Grenadiers here for Covenant, plus a Panzer IV. We also got the Pioneers upgrade here with the Pioneer support package. That is a Pioneer support package. More explosives. Fully pushing back the Greyhound there. Obviously, no intention of tangling with that. So Palmer-Cut for Farlion as well. And we do get the airdrop common group here for BrainDamage, paratroops and a Pack Howitzer. Which, of course, further ups the amount of artillery here BrainDamage has access to. And it's going to definitely, I think, force Farlion to have to consider getting more aggressive because otherwise it's just going to be, you know, on the receiving end of a lot of American artillery. Which with 4-man squads is going to be tough to survive, even with a half-track. We do get a command tank here from Farlion. The Befehls Panzerkampfwagen 4. Meanwhile, coming with the Panther already. Armored cars and saps there, pushing them back. Panther rolling ahead here for Deutschland. Spotting scopes on the way as well. 2 German players, each with their own separate 251 half-track is super rare, that's for sure. After rushing westwards here, I wonder what he's up to. Perhaps laying down mines. Yep, and there we go. Spotted by the Greyhound. Gonna have to pull back from that. Not a bad idea, though. It should mean they can lay down is pretty handy. Gives the half-tech further utility, though, of course. Again, with anything featuring the mobile opposition post, you also can lay down regal mines. Don't know if it's going to lay down now. Most players never bother with them. I do think they should. Centre then, trouble around to the Pack 40 and the Panther 4 here. Good chance of losing it. Sappers moving up an anti-tank grenade, and there you go. Not enough to save here. Chiefs and Katz's Centaur anti-aircraft tank as it is shredded here by German 75mm anti-tank fire. Great work there by Covenant and the 2nd Panzergrenadier Company. West Receiver, we got the command tank rushing forwards here, slamming into BrainDamage, his front line here. Pathfinders there, being blasted there, sent from the high closure shells. More Grenadiers for fun to replace losses he has suffered against the Americans. 2nd squad out here for BrainDamage, on top of his paratroops with light machine guns, of course. His Pack Cards, which, interesting enough, he has not crewed up. In fact, it would appear Chiefs and Katz is the one walking off that one. I mean, he does have enough artillery, so I suppose it doesn't hurt to give Chiefs and Katz some, but on the east side, that Covenant is completely overwhelming him, and that adds more pressure to BrainDamage. It's going to force him to have to deal with the Covenant as well here. Chiefs and Katz has definitely not had the most successful of matches so far. Covenant's been doing quite good work from there. Go Panther abandoned. Got a lot of grenadiers here, and of course the half-track nearby to again further stiffen here up Covenant's front line. Air support unleashed here by Tonkatsu against Covenant. Though the positioning of it is actually a bit questionable. At most, it might actually prevent Farlion from assisting Covenant too much, but it doesn't help directly. And there you go. Tonkatsu here rushes in to fix up the Panther 4 and turn against the Germans. But there you go. Wrecked by the Pack 40 here. Artillery called in here. Halftrack, of course, providing again the grenadiers here with the ability to reinforce the front line. Artillery called in as well here. And finally, Covenant is being pushed back here as Tonkatsu is on the offense. And the west side here, BrainDamage forces back Farlion. We got the machine gun there destroyed. Leaving Farlion without that. His half-trackers also tragically been knocked out here by the Americans. Scott's moving up here. Blasting Farlion's positions. He could do with some armor here. But he may, of course, be planning tier 4 for all I know. East side here, we got the half-track and the armored car falling back in the face of British sappers piercing through the German front. Eastern field when the falling back into the British control. 6 pounder gun being forwards here. Pack cards there. Probably also going to be hauled to the front line to support it soon. Bit of chaos then. There you go. Half-track. Betzny 2 there. 1 kill for Deutschland. Sab's going to make the attempt. 6 pounder gun as well, but there you go. None of them, it would appear, are able to finish off the Mittlerer Schützenpanzerwagen. Also by the British, known as the Hanomag, due to the company that produced it, Hanomag. Fun fact. Greyhound moving out here, 11 kills at Veteran C2. Looks like BrainDamage will move to assist his teammate here, the beleaguered Tonkatsu. Might be looking to send the ground to finish off at a half-tech because, again, it would certainly represent a bit of a blow here to Covenant's defensive and offensive ability. And there you go, that's exactly here what BrainDamage is doing. Knocking out the 250 and half-tech here. Promoting east was there. Got the Greyhound knocked out. Still, again, this removes some issues there for the Allies, since the Germans can't easily support the frontline troops, meaning they can actually make better pushes. So, some good kills. And again, I think this has been so far a good highlight, just the power of the 250 and half-tracks. You know, in the right hands, they can actually go quite far. They're like, people just tend to focus like with a flamethrower and that's it. But regular version provides, you know, quite some advantage to the Germans on the right conditions. But there you go. Another sent out for Tonkatsu. Not too sure he wanted a second sent out. I think should have gone for Krom just in case of more armor from the Germans. But sent out would appear it is. Fine with a howitzer, bring in some big artillery here. Probably in response to, you know, all of the Allied artillery here. To blast it with something a bit bigger. Easily the Centaur stripes got the double packs moving up for Covenant. Need to pull back that Centaur before it gets turned into scrap. Pack cards there, of course, ready to bombard the goddamn Krauts. Certainly bunched up. Even got some 25 pounder gun fire. Tonkatsu absolutely wants those Germans, well, dead. Peritrum 40 wiping up one of our Farlion's grenadiers in a few moments. Another blow there to Farlion and the 1st Panzer Grenadier Company. We got here a BAR dropped from a unit that got annihilated there. Looks like another Pathfinder squad, just BrainDamage with 1 Pathfinder squad. East side here. Section for another push here for Tonkatsu. Probably setting up munitions by for another strafing support, which is why he's not upgrading any of his men with Bren guns. More Pathfinders here for BrainDamage. May want to get some tanks out. How it's almost done there for Farlion. Heavy Panther Corp there for Covenant. Could be an Elephant, could be Panthers. Hard to say here with Covenant. Hard to say. Center there. Fixed up. BrainDamage. Quite a bit of resources being flooded. Maybe he's considering he's going to want to go for Jackson, Sherman, or just more Scots. German front line there is suddenly looking a lot weaker now. Again, losing the Halftracks. Certainly deflated their map control. In particular, Covenant again had like, you know, much further to go to like really hold any decent part of the front line. The Halftrack really made it much even like you extend so far away from his base there.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Got punishment at the center here. West side, we got 2 gun screams up here for Farlion. Scott's ring about here for BrainDamage, who is floating a lot of resources. He must really either be unsure of what he wants to do, just doesn't care, I don't know. How's those ready here to fire for fun? Got 2 kills already. Trying to hit something here, but so far... Oh, well, that worked out much better than expected. Actually got some hit on the anti-tank gun crew. 4 kills on the howitzer so far. Like to felt Habits 18. Plentiful push back, almost knocked out here with the M1 anti-tank guns. Close call there on the Scott. Hackman 40 as well, and we got air support called in here from Tonkatsu on finds pulses here. Forced him to withdraw or risk losing his infantry and his armour. And there you go. British RAF there ramming through here. Farlion's forces causing a collapse on the western push. And the east side of the Covenant has been able to move up here and secure the train station. We got the Sturmpanzer moving up to support his troops and the offense on the train station. Sabs them being bombarded. We got a Sturmgeschütz 3 as for game for Farlion. 2 thumbs up. Good addition there, certainly. We'll have to see what the Covenant follows up with. We got the sponge scopes there on the Sturmpanzer 4. As for Tonkatsu, nothing further there. Perhaps landing a Comet, perhaps landing a Crocodile, or maybe just wanted to go for Fireflies. Got the center here ripping through some German grenadiers there. Got 363 to 90. Trenches also dug in here further, making it easy for the Allies to maintain a foothold here by the eastern fuel point, east of the train station. Got the power phones prepared to bring up here. 4-2, there's the troops there. Pioneers setting out. Command tank on the move here for Farlion. Stug slowly getting ready there for Deutschland. So I recommend getting another Stug out and maybe another half-track, honestly, after that. Another sniper here for Covenant. And the 2nd Panzer Grenadier Company of the 116 Panzerdivision Winhund. We got trenches here being dug up. Tonkatsu going for, shall we say, a bit of a leapfrogging approach with trenches. Not bad, as long as you don't run into the Sturmpanzer while digging in those trenches, obviously. 6-pounder gun moving up here. More troops arriving here. We've got the Packard flying fire support as well here for Tonkatsu. BrainDamage, they're quickly losing a bit of USF air support here. With the cluster bombs, which, as a fun fact, the M83 cluster bombs was a straight-up copy of the German butterfly bombs. For those wondering why they look so similar in the game, that's because they're the exact same bloody thing. Anyways, Modern 40 for BrainDamage. Paratroopers there also at the ready. We do get the Jackson out there for BrainDamage. Could consider maybe like a Sherman or Scots, or again, another airdrop command group, another pack howitzer. Could for example give another one to Tonkatsu while providing himself with another paratrooper squad. Sappers are leading a big assault here for Tonkatsu. Coming his lines once more buckling. One pack crew here wiped out. Howitzer also exposed here. Fine moving in forces now to cover up here against this potential eventuality. Scots are bombarding Grenadiers under Farm's command being ripped apart. We do get a second Stug. 2 thumbs up. The double Stug is a very tactically solid combination in my opinion. Sniper bombs right there, but artillery fire, howitzers also getting wiped out. Pack 40 being hit by 25-pounder gunfire. And there we go. Oh, Scott fire there. The sniper is dead. Quite some brutal hits to the German army. We got the Stug rushing in here for Deutschland, going for the Scots here. Good shot there. Paratroopers was round here. We got a bazooka team running around the smoke, though. Can't quite see where the Stug is. Fine keeps up the offensive. Command tank up support. 2nd Stug arriving here as well. 1 Scott down. 2nd Scott about to go up in flames as well. As Fine push ahead here for Deutschland. There you go. That's the 2nd Scott down. A great push for Deutschland and Vaterland here. Absolutely demolishing here. BrainDamage's ace there. His double Scots is Jackson. Also is now very isolated. Finding where to spot it to go for the double Stugs. He could destroy it. Smoke deployed here against the anti-tank guns, ensuring he can't easily shoot the Stugs. This could turn to a very decisive situation here for BrainDamage against Farlion. Farlion here could really rip him apart. Sturmpanzer these that broke through Tonkatsu's lines. Yes, there we go. The Stugs on pursuit of the Jackson tank destroyer. Shoots in. Good shot here. Jackson dodges 1 shot here. Stugs taking some damage, but they don't care. They are Sturmgeschütze. Die beste Geschütz. There you go. Jackson down. Got 2 Scots and a Jackson for the price of 1 Stug. That's a pretty good, decent trade there for Farlion. Smoke deploys well to cover up this retreat of the Stug. Thumbs up to Farlion. Absolutely just rip through BrainDamage's armoured fleet there. Even with no artillery and no tank destroyers. Now he's going for more Scots. When he probably should consider some Shermans and other stuff. But oh well. Easily a center though, ripping through Covenant's forces here with some Strafing fire, only to get knocked by the Pack 40 here. Covenant, they will have to see what goes for next. Will it be a Panther? Will it be the Elephant? Machine gun wiped out here. Tonkatsu keeps up the counterattack against the German lines. Covenant and the 2nd Panzergrenadier Company is struggling. Sturmpanzer shoots. Half decent hit there.
We are losing a sector.
Almost got the Grenadiers there. And with no packs left, this is definitely a bit of a dangerous situation. Plus, of course, the machine gun lost here. Apparently, there's a Vickers. West side here, BrainDamage moving force with the paratroopers, Reasons, and Pathfinders here. Farlion, 2nd Sturmgeschütz. Ready again. 2nd Scott out here for BrainDamage. Anti-tanks being moved forwards. We got air recons here from Covenant. Thumbs up. East side here, the Pioneers versus the sections. Sappers. Burning through the section there. We got the armored car moving up. Panzerwerfer there on the way for Covenant. Bit dull, considering he's got like no anti-tank. Well, 200 points left for the Germans. Command tank there, ready with the 2 Stooks from the surf shot. Bounces off there. Anti-tank guns at the ready. Those 2 anti-tanks represent a bit of a threat to the Stooks, so he needs to like neutralize them either with smoke or with infantry. And obviously the preferable option would be infantry, since that way they won't be returned to the fight, but smoke could just at least make it hard for them to just shoot at the Stooks. But for now, I imagine Fire's not going to rush them in there. East side here, Covenant quickly establishing some kind of order here against the British. Vickers in the trench here for Tonkatsu. Another bit of strafing support ready. We got ammo tactics on the way. Guessing heavy sappers, but probably might also be planning then, of course, crocodiles. Have to see. Sturmpanzer being fixed up there for Covenant. His Panzerwerfer that's ready. This is fine. Well, his Haz is obviously what you call gone. Doesn't look like he is going to replace it. We got 338 on 61. Got the Western Victory Point here. East side here we got a large assembly of anti-tank guns here. That will definitely cause some firepower. We got Farlion with the Austrian Flak Panzer. Probably A, to murder infantry, but also to guard against that strafing support ability. Since while it doesn't hard counter, enemy air support as well as the, say, for example, the Centaur or the American anti-aircraft attack does, it still does a decent job despite technically having a larger gun for the job. Go figure. Under the fire here, Pack Howitzer wiped out, good kill there. Though I think for Covenant, the goal was more blasting the anti-tank guns into tiny bits and pieces. Another push through here to try and force the British away there from the victory point here. Trench destroyed, anti-tank guns unleashing a strike there against a Sturmpanzer that takes off a fair chunk of its health here. And the west side here, finally waiting that Flak Panzer, laying out forces, command tank slowly spearheading. Down to half health, there you go, deploying smoke, thumbs up. Very consistent use of the smoke shell ability on the command tank, a very nice ability to it, but which tends to get, unfortunately, very reluctant. Yes, it wasn't actually uncommon for German crews to at least have a few smoke shells in the tank as well. But there you go. Oh, the Scott's about to get ambushed by the Stooks. See the anti-tanks aren't ready for this. Could see one Scott go down. There he goes. Level health left here. The Stooks pushing ahead. The anti-tanks are forced to turn around. The Stooks using this opportunity to push ahead here. And now, as the anti-tank guns turn the Stooks, finally leads to the second punch here. The Flak Panzer taking advantage of the Stooks being the dictated target to flank the anti-tanks and clear them out here with its high rate of fire. It is pretty decent at the job. Got one Stook, but at this rate, he's going to lose both anti-tank guns and both Scots. At which point, this is an amazing tactical one for fine, leaving BrainDamage there with a significant amount of damage to him. His anti-tank guns are gone. His infantry is now deeply exposed to both the Flak Panzer and the command tank. And of course, finally, he's just going to wreck the anti-tanks. This means now Tonkatsu is forced to rush his anti-tank guns to assist his beleaguered and, failing teammates flank here. And of course, now Covenant, of course, takes advantage of the chaos caused by Farlion to push up the east side. Air support called in here, but again, the Flak Panzer could ostensibly shoot this down, except of course they're going for the east side here to push back Covenant. Panzer firing a barrage here at the anti-tank guns, can it hit? And there we go, anti-tank gun crew being decimated beneath a torrent of rockets. Both crews dead, expired. They are no more. They've joined the quiet invisible. In the west side, Ostwind, command tank, Stug falling back here. BrainDamage's forces in tatters. Tonkatsu similarly in tatters. Both the Americans and the British have seen much better days at the moment. Sturmpanzer Vetti 2 there with the Schützen added. Going for the anti-tankers, looking to wreck them, but Tonkatsu is able to crew some of them. There we go. Air support rain down here. Pushing back the Sturmpanzer. One aircraft that shot out of the skies. I imagine by the Flak Panzer? Or was it something else? I don't know. Could have been the 2-2, which does also have some ability to shoot down aircraft. And there go down to the base of the command tank and the ambulance here. Farlion shows no mercy to his opponent here. Keine Gnade. And we do actually have another airdrop combat group. He's actually going for bazookas in a rare sight. I think also a good indicator that BrainDamage here might be feeling the heat a bit here from the Germans when he actually goes for that. Not that they're bad. I mean, obviously they get the same bonus as the bazooka Rangers. Just don't get 3 bazookas, but still 2 bazookas. That bonus obviously is not something to be saying. And there go another unit wiped here. Farlion is causing absolute havoc there. Packard's wiped out. Looks like he's going to lose the command tank, which is a bit of a shame. Stu being rushed in here. Does he expect his opponent to go for the bazookas here? I don't know. Away though. Paratroopers almost got them. There we go. But by now, the command tank is too far away here. Maybe this is why we moved up the Stuke like that, for it to basically act as bait here for any bazookas that BrainDamage here might have gone for. So yeah, it's looking pretty bad here. Nice persons. That's rude. Very rude. Yeah. Go figure. Got the Pathfinders pushed back there. Away there. GG. GG. Game over here. Clearly the Allies have lost the Germans in 1, and Mr. BrainDamage is a bit upset. I don't know what called double Stuke's abuse, but apparently it is. Go figure. Anyways, GG, game over. Just waiting for the game to be done here. Rushing in the ambulance is clearly just a bit feisty there because just rush in. There you go. GG, game over. So there you go. A fierce fight here. Nice highlight A of the power of the Sturmgeschütze when used correctly. Can again deploy a lot of firepower with a good amount of speed while still having some armor. Command tank also hard. But again, also just think the way the Halftracks were used to support the Germans' front lines, making it like, you know, push better, but also hold better. I think really gave the Germans some crucial power at, you know, important times here. Tonkatsu, though, also had a really tough time there. Definitely also started from that. I think that also kind of wrong foot the Allies. So, all the way, though, I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope I gave some ideas, learned some things from it. Like, again, maybe you want to use Halftracks a bit more. This is Imperial Lynching. Cheers. Thank you all for watching. Hope you'll see you tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.